Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday morning or Sunday night, Monday morning, wherever you're at in the world. And excited to bring more messages of love from above. And I'm excited, as always, to see what messages Spirit brings through. So, do you want to start off sending beautiful, beautiful love out to the world? So, if you'd like to join me, I more than welcome that. And whether you're watching live or on replay, you can all join together because we join outside of space and time. That beautiful energy is not of this world, it's from another plane of existence. So, we can all meet there together. So, I'm going to take a big, deep breath and just come back to right here right now. And just let that beautiful love cascade into our heart, fill us up and out into the world. And if you are in need of love right now for your heart, your mind, your body, a situation in your life, a relationship in your life, or for a loved one, we send love right now. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to do that. And before we jump into the readings, I did want to, of course, let everyone know we just put out the winter solstice readings for each individual zodiac sign. So that is the playlist. So if you haven't checked those out, those are out. Of course, it's through December 21st is when we go into winter in the northern hemisphere and summer in the southern hemisphere. It's all about what we're tilting away from and what we're tilting toward during the solstice. So I love that. And I think that was the main thing that I wanted to give you right now. And then for those that ask, how do you donate to bring your reading and make it a priority? You can use the super chat down below and or through my PayPal and Venmo, which I just posted the links. So you can check those out there. So let's get going with the messages. That's what we're here for, is hear from Spirit, right? So let me just shrink all this down so I can actually see, and we will get started here. Okay, that's good. Looking good, looking good. All right. So thank you guys so much already for all the thumbs up on the reading too. On any of the videos, it does help the YouTube algorithm get super excited about this channel, and it shares beautiful, beautiful, the videos with other people as well automatically. Makes them like a recommended and suggested video for people. So really, really, thank you guys so much just for all your support always. You just blow me away all the time. So, all right. So let's get going. And the first free reading that we have coming up here is for Bhumika BR. So welcome, welcome. Hello. And you'd like a general reading. And I do want to start off today with the general reading with the Earth Magic Oracle. So let's take a look here and see what they have for you. Hope you all are doing super, super well in this moment, right? How are we choosing to feel in this moment? What's one thing that we can be grateful for right here, right now? We're breathing. That's a good sign. That's something to be thankful for, right? All right. Well, so Bhumika, you've got the Milky Way, which is the card of perspective. And let's see. Excuse me. It says the Milky Way is said to be one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. It contains between 200 to 400 billion stars. The one most familiar to us, of course, being our sun. The oldest star in our galaxy is 13.2 billion years old, said to be nearly as old as the universe itself. And the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Distances are measured in light years, and the Milky Way galaxy is believed to be 100,000 light years in diameter, or diameter, right? The enormity and vastness stagger the mind and challenge the imagination, yet it also gives us some notion of where we fit into all of this. Considered from this perspective, our usual frame of reference is put to the task. We're faced with the choice of abandoning our myopic vision in favor of seeing and accepting the bigger picture, or we can just allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by a sense of smallness and helplessness. Yet know that we're composed of material from these very stars that inhabit the Milky Way. Thus, we are connected to Earth and the entire universe at all times in life and in death. The message for the card is you may have lost your perspective, so it's time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. And it is an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non reactive awareness of these things. The witness, that internal aspect of ourself that simply observes everything in our lives, offers his or her eyes here. Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. And by doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective than is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with clear vision and an open mind. And I like that. I know, we have heard somewhere, and I can't remember who said it, but it's basically we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. And when we're in our fear and we're under all this influence of all the opinions of the supposed to and should and need to and have to and all that, we see a world that is fuzzy because of all these fears and all these rules. And but the more we raise our vibration, we raise our perspective to that of the higher realms, those that are rooted in unconditional love, no fear, we see things completely different. We're not reacting, we're not fearing, we're not judging ourselves and comparing. We're able just to observe it. They're bringing back a memory of mine when I was walking with a friend of mine. I just moved to the town that she was in, and we're walking, and there's this beautiful, beautiful white flower, and I was like, "Wow, look at this beautiful white flower." I was just in the witness mode in the moment, and I was like, "Wow, look at this. It's just so beautiful, this little flower," or it was a big flower. And my friend, Virgo, they love their investigation and their information, proceeded to tell me the name of the flower and what it does and what the attributes of it were and the roots and the leaves and this and that and that and that. And I was just, it just felt like this beauty suddenly started to shrink because of all the definitions and the contrast and stuff. And when it's almost like trying to describe a beautiful, beautiful sunset, we can just observe it and be in awe of it, but our human mind will be like, I need to determine what scale of a sunset is it? Is it an 8 or a 9 or is this a 10 sunset? And blah, 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 blah. And we try to describe it and explain it to, other people. And we're like, oh. Yeah, that limits it. So there's this freedom, the stepping back and seeing things from a higher perspective, is what is coming in. So I really like that. All right. Sorry. Okay. I saw some smoke, and I'm like, "I don't think my lamp is on fire." It's my incense from over there, it was drifting over. See, perspective. It's like, "What? Oh, no, it's just incense." So, I love it. So, that's what they have for you, Bhumika, so many blessings for you. Alright, Salmya Rao, you are up next for the next free reading, and you'd like a general reading. And yeah, and they do want to go to the Ask Your Guides Oracle for your general readings. Let's take a look here. So, what would you like Samia to know, please? All right, that's the one right here. Oh, and you got Celebration, your joy guides. Beautiful card there. Card number 14. It says you're entering a period of great expansion and celebration. Your joy guides are at hand, ushering you into a season of abundance, celebration, and hospitality. You're loved, accepted, and trusted by those around you. This is a time when life gives back to you. You may become engaged, get married, receive a promotion, land a deal, or just get a long awaited lucky break. Woohoo, right? So, whatever your desire, your joy guides are urging you to prepare for because it's surely coming. Realize that as life's tides turn your way, the soon to become realized positive flow of events isn't just a fluke or an accident or just the luck of the draw. Rather, it's the natural outcome for your unwavering efforts and commitment to your dreams and goals. So your joy guide's message to you is plan for the party. You'll soon have reason to celebrate. All right, we will all embrace that. Very, very good. So, good news, the energy that you've been investing, the focus that you've been doing, moving from focusing on what's missing and what you're fearing and what's not in your life, and focusing on gratitude and focusing on this beautiful, beautiful love and peace and what you do want in your life is expanding. It is bringing this beautiful, beautiful, um, celebration to you. So I really, really like that. And that's it for you for today. That's like, yeah, that's enough. Woohoo! Prepare to celebrate. All right. So many blessings to you, Xiaomya. All right. So Rishi, you are up next for the next free reading. You are very welcome, Bhumika. And you'd like to know how you can improve your psychic abilities. And they actually going to go to another oracle deck. They're kind of starting all oracle like today. And we're going to use the dragon oracle cards. So let's see what they have to say about how you can improve your psychic abilities. And it is on my list. I know the list, the ever growing list. I do want to do some videos on this very subject to help us all, how we can move up. We can always get clearer and clearer communication and expand our energy more and more and more, right? So you've got the Earth Dragon, beautiful blue card there. And that says, clears your path in the land around you. Stay grounded, be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing, and you can move forward in life. I like it. Excuse me. So, this is a fourth dimensional earth dragon that are brown and the color of the soil, and they love the planet and the land itself. It was these sturdy dragons who helped to build the original dragon lines that we now call the ley lines. Part of their service work is to travel along them to clear them when asked to do so. And when we send an instruction to the earth dragons to work with the ley lines, that's LEY lines, they can power away under the surface to clear any blockages. So this impacts hugely on people and situations in the vicinity. They can also help to ground us and our mission in this life. So it's time to clear unwanted energies that are preventing your life from moving forward. So this is what they're talking about with how can you improve your psychic abilities? Some of these may be in the earth under your home or office or where you travel. So call on the earth dragons and ask them to remove all that not is not in accordance with your divine light. Then sense the frequency rising within the land and on your path. This card also suggests you may be called on to do planetary service work, as the earth dragons will take the opportunity to cleanse any ley lines that you focus on. So take a moment to direct them to clear the planetary grid and visualize the grid glowing and shimmering. And when you walk, think of the earth dragons and connect with them through the earth. Ask them to ground you and your vision, for this card signifies that they are now boosting your spiritual journey and you are ready to fly. Notice the progress you make. I think that's it. Yeah. So I do like that. They are very much talking about grounding and moving energies, getting rid of blocks. And definitely that is how we improve our spiritual gifts, our psychic abilities, whatever it is. We all are channeling energy in some way. And that channel, if it's clogged with fears, that's what clogs, the flow. That's the self-love. It's if it's blocked and it's shimmering and smaller, then um, that doesn't allow as much energy through to activate and to really uh, I'm going to say, make it so noticeable. If it's barely on, it's almost like I don't know, like a candle that has it's done by battery, right? Actually, I have some that the battery ran out now that I think about it. But the lower the battery gets, the dimmer the candles get to where finally they don't even turn on at all. And you can't even tell, is it even lit? I can't tell. And that's our energy, that's our psychic abilities, the power. It's powered by the unconditional love. So the more we turn down the fear noise, the chaos, the you know, all those emotions, lower vibrational emotions, the more clear we can hear and the more flow of unconditional love comes through and the more it activates our gifts. And so, that's the first thing is we turn down the fear, we turn up the unconditional love, not the conditional love of the world, the unconditional love of the higher planes. We just get more and more and more. It just floods us more and activates more within us. And then the other thing is practice. It's like a muscle. Any of our gifts are like any skill that we have. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. I know since I've been started doing lives, I mean, I recorded readings quite often before, but now in addition to recording a lot of readings, going live like what 2.5 hours. So it's like 25 hours a week at least I go live. It's increased my connection even more than it was before, and it's such a testament to the more we use something, the stronger it becomes as well. So that's what they have for you, Rishi. So many, many blessings to you. And I'm excited to see what you do. So hang in there. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list of the free ones. And we're up to Shay B. And let me just take a drink here while I read your comment here. All right. So I'm going to use the Transient Light Tarot to start off. And let's take a look here, Shay, and see what are Dee's current feelings, and are you going to be in a committed relationship in 2023? Let's find out. Yes, 2023 fast approaches here, right? All right. So current feelings. Well, I like this. You got the Page of Wands here, which it says Apprentice of Wands, but that's passion, new passion, heightened passion, and the Three of Vessels, the Three of Cups, which is about joy and celebration. So their current feelings towards you is they do have this excitement, this energy towards you, passion, and the Three of Cups is joy. There's this joy around being around you. So I do like that. So here we've got this, and I feel like let me see what these other two cards are too. Because okay, yeah, yeah. So I feel like the pause that's happening here, because we'll talk about relationship here. There's you have three sets of cards, two, two, and two. This one, the Three of Wands, is about a change in direction around your expectations. The Nine of Swords is called the insomnia card, the nightmare card. More so, these are all the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are rooted in the fears of losing a conditional love. It would be, the fears and the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, all around relationship that keep you up at night, or it's the last thing that you think of before going to bed and you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it and wake up in the morning thinking about it. And it's like relationship, what is it supposed to be? Who should we be? Blah, 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 right? This Three of Wands, I feel with this combination is that you're changing these directions. You're really starting to drop these. You're all snip, 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 allowing yourself this freedom, more and more freedom to uh, allow things to unfold and allow them to be who they are and allowing yourself to be who you want to be and allow the relationship to unfold in its own way without all the supposed tos and the pressure around it. It's almost just like letting it unfold and evolve as it will without thinking, well, if they love me, this is what they would do. That's those fears we have that we're told if someone loves you, da da da. I was engaged to be engaged a long time ago, like decades now. And it ended and started going downward because we were going to become missionaries. We were going to go overseas and it was like we wanted to go help people. And so we went to go start looking at rings, and we were like, let's just get like just little bands just to show our commitment and that we love one another. And it was like, okay, that sounds good. But then she started talking to all our friends at work, and they were like, "What? You're just gonna get a little band?" And then so this is the one of the supposed tos, right? The size of the ring tells everyone how much they love you. And that was where we started parting ways because I was like, well, if you have like a 5 carat diamond on your finger and we go help a country that like that would pay for all the food for the entire village for a year, you're gonna have to let that ring go or lose a finger. And but there was this belief that really they grabbed onto about that meant how much I cared for them. And of course, we could have a different meaning of my faithfulness and how much I show you I love you every day. Wouldn't that be, or would you rather just have a ring and have someone who's not faithful? So there's this all these thoughts and these beliefs and these mindsets that we get around the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos. And that's what causes a lot of conflict. And so there's this freedom that's coming here for you as you release more and more around the expectations around who you're supposed to be in a relationship, who they're supposed to be in a relationship, what a relationship is supposed to be, supposed to, should, need to, have to, must, all those ring of expectations and bars that restrict. When you do that, when you look at those things and you release it, then that's when movement starts to happen. Eight of Pentacles is you do the work, and then things start to move in the outside world, and it moves you towards the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, emotional wish fulfillment card. So that is, it's like they're putting it into your hands. Will the commitment, a committed relationship happen next year? All depends on the inner work that we do, because um, delays happen for us to uh, increase our vibration, our raise our love vibration to that which is more in alignment where we want to head. Otherwise, if we do what we always did, we get what we always got, and we draw in the same type of relationships we had in the past, which were right. But so I like it for you because I feel like you will go after it. You're just like, yep, I hear what you're saying, it's resonating, and I'm gonna do it. So I love that for you, Shay. So I look forward to seeing how this unfolds for you next year. So many blessings to you. All right. Thank you so much, Dune, for your donation. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll step out of line and we will take care of your question. And let's see here. Can you tell about your career for 2023? Absolutely. So let's take a look and see what Spirit has in store, or what they'd like you to know of what you chose to unfold in 2023 for you when you were planning out your amazing life. All right. Well, I do like that. You got the joy card coming in here. So that is a great sign that it's your career is going to have uh, wonderful joy around it. So you're going to be really enjoying what you're doing um, next year, which is great. And I kind of feel here with this judgment card too, because the judgment card is your higher self drawing you higher into like your calling. So this, really feel like you are diving deep into your high heart, diving deep into what it is you really want to do with your life, right? Not so much the oh, the mind says that this high paying job doing this and this is secure and blah, blah, blah. It's like, ugh, that's not joyful to me. When I saw this, I was like, oh, I wonder if you're going to be doing what makes your heart sing. And with this judgment card, I really feel like you do. You're really getting in tune with like what you came here to do, and you're expressing it in beautiful, beautiful ways. Yeah. Let me see what this one is too. Yeah. See if the Seven of Wands, which is you deciding to live the dream, in quotes, living the dream. And the Seven of Wands shows that, when you live your dream, you just shine. You can't help it because you're so excited. Again, you're joyful. You can't wait to, do what you love every single day. And these other seven wands, these six ones, because this is the seventh one, you're big and bright, and there are other people, usually it's the other way around, where they're coming from down below and they're attacking your light, because they don't like it. Like, why do you get to be happy? Come back down here and be miserable with the rest of us. How dare you get to be able to live your dream? And it's like, you don't have to defend it. You can just realize that people, they attack because they feel low about themselves, and that's what you're realizing with this, is that, oh, okay, so let me help them and say, do you want me to look and see how you can make your dream come true, your dreams come true, and you can live your dream as well. And they're like, "Okay, well, let's take a look," and then that changes the way they perceive you and the way they look at things, right? And then you have the two of coins. So this is about bringing beautiful balance into the outside world, bringing the heavens down into the earth, and that really feels so much like this judgment card too, about you allowing yourself to bring that down, your purpose, your dream, bringing that down into the physical world, out of your dream world of your high heart of like, oh, this is what I'd love to do, but it comes down here and allows you to do that. Yeah. And the Seven of Pentacles. So it is this change of direction. So this definitely reinforces what I was saying at the beginning that, we're told this is what like you're supposed to grow apple trees, June. This is what your life is because people like applesauce and apple pie and apple fritters and um, candy apples. Apples are the thing that you need to do. This is your dream. And you're like, okay, we don't know any better. We just do. That's what we're told when we're growing up. We take this on. And then we have this process where it takes time for the tree to grow and branches and leaves and blossoms, and then we start to see the apples grow, right? And then we're like, why did I want to grow apples? I don't know. And it's like it's not um bringing you satisfaction. You're like, and then you're like, what do I really want to do with my life? And you're like, I want guacamole, and I'm going to grow avocado trees instead. Or even it's not even having to do anything with trees, but it's about you make this switch and this change after you've been starting to see the fruit grow, and it's not satisfying you like you thought it would. And so next year does have this change that happens where you start making movement and change from where you invested your energy before into something that's more making your heart sing and bringing you the satisfaction in life instead of the supposed tos and shoulds that you were told before. So it is joyful, it is abundant too, because when you do what you love, you're not so much concerned about all the outcome and the end results. Because when you're living your dream, you're enjoying step by step living your dream, and people can't tell you, "Oh, you failed at your dream." And you're like, "No, I'm continuing to take steps towards my dream all the time." People will judge us, that 7 of wands. People will judge us, "Ah, you're not doing well." And you're like, "I'm doing perfectly because I'm living my dream." So that's what I feel they have for you this year, Dune. So I like it. Can't wait to see what that is. So many blessings to you. And again, thank you so much for your donation. Greatly appreciate it. I honor your energy exchange and thank you very much. And that's what they have for you. All right. So we will continue. Let me make sure here. All right. Very cool. So we will continue back down going through the free readings, and we left off with Jazz. You are up next. And let me just take a drink while I read what you have here. All right. So you want to know L's current energy towards you, and will they reach out to you today? Let's take a look here. All right. So tell us about L's energy. Mm, okay. Well, I don't think they're going to be reaching out. We got the Death card, which is endings and new beginnings, and we've got the Tower card, which is about people or things being removed out of your life to allow other things to move into your life. So I kind of feel like they are kind of backing off and headed a different direction, but it's because they're being knocked out of your life and removed out of your life because they are a block. They're keeping you from moving into this new Ace of Pentacles, this new they're a lock. They're standing in front of the gate and not allowing you to go through to new opportunities. So this is like being removed, and this is about something brand new entering your life because of this being removed out of the way. Otherwise, this is standing in the way and you don't get to experience that. Because not only is this a new opportunity opening in the outside world, the Ace of Pentacles is also about you moving into this new way of evaluating yourself and a new sense of self-worth in relation to you in the outside world, how you perceive yourself, how you look at your self-worth. And it's a positive thing, it's a positive move because these other things, it's like I almost feel like you have to pour all the effort and to get a little bit back from L. And it's like, why am I the one that's always calling and reaching out and investing the energy? And why am I super excited and they're okay? I'm like, no, it's because they are reflecting back to you what you wanted to see about yourself. And you are ready. You are ready to move forward in a direction where you're more cherished, you're more seen, you're more recognized. And it's more 50-50 instead of, you know, 99 to 1. And I like it for you. And I know it's like, oh, but I really like them. But it's like, really question why you like it. Why do you like them if what is it about them? Because you're looking in a mirror. And so what you admire about them is actually inside you too, which is pretty cool, right? But what you feel is missing, it's something that you can look at as well inside and go, how is this reflecting back to me how I feel about myself? Like when I had, friends earlier in life and they actually got to a point where I would always reach out to them and they're like, "Hey, you know what? We'll contact you when we want to hang out." And I was like, "Oh." But when you look back at life, it was what my higher self wanted me to see is how was I abandoning myself and for everyone else's attention when I wasn't giving myself the attention that I was desiring. And so there's the beautiful things that you can learn through this. And I feel that's where that Ace of Pentacles, not only is it going to ignite new opportunities coming in the outside world that are so much more in alignment with who you really are, you're getting to recognize how beautiful you are, how all these beautiful qualities that you have, your strength, and as well. So I like it for you, Jazz. I know it might be like, but in the end, you'll see. Always, what is it? Hindsight is 2020. And when we look back, when we're in this wonderful place, we're like, oh, now I know why this happened. Like the tower, we have a little shack that is not insulated. There's, rats in it and there's no running water and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's my shack. And the lightning bolt hits it. You're like, no, not my shack. But then they take all the rubble away and they build you a castle with running water and upgraded everything. And you're just like, oh, well, I'm so glad that the lightning hit my shack because I wouldn't be in this now. That's what the energy is. So that's what they have for you, Jess. So many, many blessings to you. All right. So we'll continue. Look here. Let me just make sure. All right. So we continue moving down the free readings. And Marie, you are up next. I am well. Thank you very much. I hope you are well. And you want to know when or will your partner and you get married soon? Let's take a look here. So tell us about Marie. All right. Anything else? Oh, okay. Well, I feel Maybe not super, super soon. I feel it all depends on this card here, because you have the Ace of Wands, which is about passion, and Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So there's energy that comes in that moves you towards this wish fulfillment of marriage. But the Five of Swords is what is kind of the conflict that is standing in between. And swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, attitudes, expectations, and I feel like this is both conflict in your mind, conflict in their mind, and conflict between you in thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around what a relationship should be, marriage should be, timing, who each person is supposed to be, blah, 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 right? All of these small T truths that are rooted in fears. And the beauty of the Five of Swords is that a five is a number of change. And like these two are your thoughts, those two are their thoughts. And then you have the Ace of Swords, which allows you to connect to the capital T truths that are rooted in unconditional love and allows you to really look at these fears that you have. And it's double edged. One, you get to see things from a higher perspective, but you also get to wipe away and release some fears, some thoughts. And it's like, where did these stories come from? Where do these opinions on what a relationship should be, what it's supposed to be, need to be, blah, 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 all that stuff, all the stuff that can feel restrictive and can take the wind out of a sail. And so there's this transformation that comes in with these because we can try to win a battle, but we might lose the war. And so it's about allowing people each to have their own opinions, but see things from this higher perspective and allow things to unfold, not have the pressure. Because when we meet someone and we have no expectations, they're doing this and wow, they're wonderful, right? All this wonderfulness. But we start dating, they're still wonderful. We date exclusively, oh, they're still wonderful. There's worse people out there. We get engaged. Well, we've invested a lot of time, and really, in the scheme of things, everyone's kind of this way. Then you get married. Bam! Suddenly, there's this disappointment. Why did they change? We didn't. It's our thoughts and our beliefs around these titles that we put around things. And I talk about here on the channel whenever I go to a wedding, invite to a wedding, I always write in their card, try to keep your expectations as low as possible, remembering why you fell in love and celebrating who each of you are rather than looking at who they're not, because that's what happens. When we have low expectations, we look at all the wonderment and how amazing someone is. But if we're up here with expectations, we're always looking at how they're falling short. So there's this transformation, and I feel like that's why there's this delay, because that's what spirit wants you to kind of look at. You can't control them, but what you can do is you can change your energy towards the situation and start focusing on what you're grateful for. And that grows when you, instead of focusing on where they're falling short in an area, that expands if we focus on it, or what we're missing or what we don't want, that expands. And I feel like with that Ace of Wands, you're really focusing and changing your energy to focus on what you're grateful for in them. You're grateful for, um, what you do want in your life, and you're focused on love and joy and peace and laughter, and then it just brings this beauty in. Um, and so we start to look at marriage as it's just something on paper, but um, the true commitment comes in the heart, right? So I like that for you. I do see you doing this energy change and focusing on what you're grateful for. And you're like, well, I hope they do the same. That's an expectation. You know, the love and the passion grows within our heart when we change that energy, and then that energy just grows in our life. We don't care as much about the other stuff. That's what happens with that higher viewpoint, looking down from unconditional love instead of the all the rules around relationship. So I like it for you, Marie. A big transformation, I feel, next year. So Beautiful, beautiful. That's what they have for you. Many, many blessings. All right. So let me just double check here. Just want to make sure. Okay. So we will continue moving down the list. So the next free reading up is Daisy. And will the upcoming college airfare called Muse be approved? And will you make a decent income from it by selling your artwork? Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. So, Will Muse. I like that name. That's great. All right. So, will it be approved? Yeah, I really feel here with the Two of Wands here, this energy that's coming in is the Six of Coins, the Six of Pentacles is about having abundance. And so I feel like, do I even need to look at the other two here? Yeah. So this is like the approval, and because obviously this is you getting enough that you have enough for yourself of income, and you're able to have so much that you're able to give some to other people too. So this is all about having so much that you're able to help others, and that's definitely a positive sign about making decent income from selling the artwork. So I really like that. And then they also have this with the Hermit and the Ace of Cups. I feel like they're with the if you are creating something new, I really feel it's like the Hermit card is you turning inward and really allowing your higher self to guide you on your path. And the Ace of Cups here is that love that we get from up above. So I feel like they're saying, yeah, 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 with that, but they're like, but this is your journey. This is you turning inward and upward and really connecting to this beautiful love from above is an important piece of this because yeah, I see now with the Two of Wands, it's wherever you and I was just talking, with Marie, that whatever you focus your energy on is what grows and expands. So the extent of how wonderful it is depends on, are you focusing on what you're grateful for and thankful, or is there fear? Or we were like, oh my gosh, you know, what is missing? What is not turning out well? What is um, what do I fear? If you're focusing on that, we're feeding that and that grows, which limits the abundance. But when we focus on gratitude and thankfulness and unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, that expands in our life. So I really feel like they're saying the more, the more that you choose, it's more these two, the more you choose to focus on the unconditional love that you find within, and that joy that's there, then the bigger the coin, the bigger the payout, because you'll have a minimum amount that you're going to get from this experience. But depending on what your energy is and what you focus on, that will it can expand it even more so. So I do feel that it will be approved, that you will get decent income, but the amount of income that you get from it all depends upon what your focus is. And if, be gentle with yourself. If you find yourself fearing, just be aware of it and go, okay, that's right. Thank you. And then focus back on gratitude and thankfulness and that love from above, then things expand. So I like it for you, Daisy. So I like it, like it, like it. Yeah. And if there's a website link of your artwork or something, please share it with us. We'd love to check it out too. So many, many blessings to you, Daisy. That's what they have for you. All right. So continue moving down the list. And so, Heidi, you are up next. All right. So, you want to know if you'll be happy if you marry A. Option A. Let's take a look. You are very welcome. So, what do you have to say if Heidi married A? Okay. So you have the Keeper of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she balances heart and mind. And she also cuts away expectations, um, because she holds the Ace of Swords, which allows her to see things from a higher perspective and cut away a lot of the restrictions that we have around life. In this case, around love and marriage and the happiness. And it's a great message that talks about um, questioning all of the giant checklist we have around what makes a happy marriage. And we have all these rules that we suddenly start, regurgitating, right? They must be faithful. They must talk nice to me. They must smile at me often. They must buy me flowers. They must take me out to dinner. We must have a date night. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Woo, for each one of those expectations, the amount of disappointment exponentially grows when we have such huge roles around a relationship. And that's what the queen helps us do, cut away thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that set us free. And the more we cut away, the more abundant and happy our relationships or marriages or whatever it may be are. Because you have the Four of Coins, which the Four of Coins, what they learn through this experience of the Four of Coins is that when we define ourselves by the outside world, our worth feels unstable because we're told basically to, usually the Four of Coins will show three coins, either like two on their feet, one on their head, and then they have a huge one that's on their lap. The 3 are the 3 areas of our life that we find unstable and disappointing, which are relationships, situations like job, education, etcetera, and things, our bank accounts, our bodies, possessions, things like that. And it finds them unstable because people change or people pass away, right? You could have a happy marriage and then they, get hit by a bus. Situations never stay the same. Of course, everything's constantly changing in the world. And things, our bodies, break down, deteriorate, stolen, blow up, burn down. So, the Four of Discs, the Four of Pentacles journey is that we experience those things of the outside and we become so tired and bored or so disappointed in the instability of them that we eventually turn inward and upward and we find the stable love that we've been looking for all along, which is that unconditional, eternal love of the higher spirit world. And so when we talk about, am I going to be happy in marriage? It's like, well, it depends on, how disappointed we are before we get married and how many expectations that we end up cutting away because we realize there are these rules that we created to feel safe when we were younger, and a lot of those are now outdated. We don't need those. And we begin to question, where do those come from? And do I really believe that anymore? And the more freedom you have, then the more abundant and beautiful your marriage is. So whether it's A or someone else that you marry, if it's option B or option C that you marry, if you're not happy on the inside, then nothing's going to make you happy on the outside. And so this is the journey that they're mentioning. And you do this. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about you're doing the work in the outside world, and then you move up in the outside world in relationship, job, whatever. So you are doing this. I can see that you are really questioning and you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired about rolls, and the fears of what if this happens? What if that happens? And you're just like, you're ready to release and release and release. And when you do that, that's when things start to happen in the outside world. And then you're like, you have this happiness because you're happy on the inside. You can be happy with A. You're unhappy on the inside. You're not. Um, that reminding me of a conversation that my mom and I had because my parents, they the first marriage didn't work out. They hung out until I was like 16 or 17, and my brother, he was like 19 to 20. And that's when my dad left my mom, but it devastated my mom for the longest time. But he went on to marry number 2, number 3, and he's married number 4 now, which is a wonderful he's in a beautiful place now. But my mom thought she carried so much guilt around, um, and pain around that she wasn't enough for him. And I'm like, well, that's what came out in the conversation was he wasn't happy on the inside, so you couldn't make him happy on the inside because obviously number 2 didn't, number 3 didn't, and all the ones that fizzled out that they didn't end up marrying. And she just was like, wow, bing, we can't make someone else happy. We can give someone the world and they can still choose to be unhappy, right? So that's what they have for you, Heidi. I know that's like, I just wanted a yes or a no, but this is what Spirit had for you. So many blessings for you, Heidi. All right. We'll continue moving down the list here. All right. Very good. And we are at VD. Jalan, you are up next. Let me just make sure these emails coming in. All right. And VD, what message do you need to hear? All right, let's take a look here. And we do have an oracle that they want here, which is the Ask Your Guides oracle. So let's take a look and see what they have for you today. All right, so VD, what would they like you to know? Hello. I like your hello. Okay. And you got the bravado. Ooh, you got the warrior guide. You about to go into battle? What's happening here? Card number 41. Let's see what they have. Does everything inside you rebel against authority, making you want to scream, "You can't control me"? If so, it's true. No one can control you unless you agree to it. The fact that you don't allow others to control you anymore is a sign of progress. It means that you're moving away from a world of dependency and are claiming your personal authority as a self directed, conscious soul ready to take responsibility for yourself. Challenging the authority figures in your life is a necessary step in your growth. However, you must realize that not everyone or everything in your path is necessarily working against you. Ask your warrior guides for the courage to challenge what oppresses you and for the wisdom to know when to respect authority. Your warrior guide's message to you is stand up for what's important to you and ask for it. However, don't fight for fight's sake. Respect the leadership and rights of others as well. I like it. Boom, boom, standing up for what you want and asking for you want. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it in an ugly, way. You can do it in a loving way. You can have boundaries and not, yell at people. No, you can't control me. It can be more of I hear where you're coming from. Let me think about it because this is what I'm looking at, what I would like, but let me consider what you have to say. It's different, right? It's probably more received more than if we point fingers, then they point fingers, and then we do go into battle. So I like this for you, BD. So many, many blessings from your warrior guides. So that's what they have for you today. That's what you needed to hear. All right. Beautiful, beautiful blessings to you. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list. All right. And we are at uh, Anuradha Singh. Thank you. Thank you. And should you wait for Deepak for marriage or not? Is he still in? Does he still love you? Is he right for you or not? You're not able to forget him, and it's your 10. Okay, let's take a look here. So let's see here. All right. So tell us about Deepak. No, you're not supposed to wait for him. Okay, that's your message. Wouldn't that just be the way to fly through readings? No, yes, 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 no. So this tells you why, though. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which is new opportunities coming your way. The gate is opening, and you're about to move into a new place because you've got the Champion of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. New passion, speed, things are moving. It's movement, 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 which is them saying it's time to move on. And I was like, well, okay, well, I see that. And like, oh, okay, definitely the World card, ending of old cycles, new beginnings. So all of these three cards telling us that over and over and over again. And then also 10 of Wands. You've invested enough energy. 10 is endings and new beginnings. It's time. It's time. It's time. Time to move on. Time to move forward. You've invested enough energy. Um, and it's not going anywhere. It's going to just keep cycling. It's time for the ending of a cycle and a new beginning. You have the Four of Cups too. Your old love is dying here up on up on the wall here. It's like, well, you know what? I can bring it back to life. I can bring it back to life. You know what? There's a new love coming in that you don't have to worry about all of the dead, lifeless plants there. It's time. It's time to move on. It's very clear. So I know. Not able to forget them, but I feel like you know how love is blind. It's the you know, sometimes we can be in love with a memory, and the memory is through our eyes at the moment when we're like, but it was this and this and this, and then you find out from other people that were also around, they're like, what were you smoking or what was in that tea you were drinking? Because that's not how we perceived it, because we see it through these eyes. And so you're able to look at it and go, okay, for what it was, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago, and neither are they. And it's time to really allow that to fall away, allow yourself to go on a new adventure and find a beautiful, beautiful love that is out there for you as well. So that's what they have for you. Um, Anurada? I probably murdered that. My apologies, but that's what they have. So it's very, very clear. So I know. I wish, well, I don't wish. I know that they have the perfect message for you for now. And sometimes it's not what we want to hear, but it's what we need to hear always. Spirit always gives us what is for our highest experience in total love for us, not, to punish us or to embarrass us or, go, ha ha, look what you did. They don't, it's always lovingly bringing us to what's the highest experience for us here. So that's what they have for you. So hang in there. Many blessings for you. All right. Take a look here at if you haven't checked out, I have a pick a card reading, which is all about soulmates, soul partners, and twin flames. And you can check that out. It does talk about that because twin flames, it doesn't necessarily, twin flames are a special agent soulmate that helps us see ourselves, see things. And, but if they aren't drawn to you and where they can't not be around you, then they're not a twin flame. It could just be a soul mate that you had because we have a bunch of soulmates, family, friends, romance, different, crushes and passions we have. But a twin flame is like someone that's tied to us. Like we have this, um, you know, twine that's tied around our arm and their arm, and we're in a ring, and we have passion. We can't stop, this passion that draws us together, and this fire that burns, that makes us see our stuff in life that we have to face. And so, you know, there's some different, definitions of twin flame, but it's really like if it's someone that is that drawn, they will be drawn to us like we're drawn to them, and we can't get away from them. They can't get away from us because this draw is like this magnetism that we keep being drawn back into each other's life over and over and over again. And it's passionate, but it's also very fiery, which they're this mirror that makes us see the things that we want to see about ourselves. Um, but it's very different. So check out that pick a card reading. In the beginning, it talks about the difference between a soulmate. Actually, I think throughout them, I talk about what a soulmate is, what a soul partner is, and what a twin flame is. We can have all three in our lives, and they can all be three different people too. Um, but check that out. That might bring some clarity too. But definitely, the cards are very clear. It's all about let go, move on, new, 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 let go, let go. So that's what they have. So, you know, I don't know what else to tell you about whoever said, oh, they're your twin flame. Maybe they were misguided as well. It can happen. So that's what they have. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's hard, when it's like, oh, but they're my everything. And it's like, give it a year, and you find someone that just knocks your total socks off. It's like, who? Oh yeah, I remember them. It's just I feel like it's a memory more than who what someone can actually bring in for you in this near future, next year. So but you have to take the reserved sign off of the table in front of you to allow this person to come in, this destined person, right? A soul partner. So, but check out that pick a card. I think you'll get some clear messaging there too. All right. So, Shravani Nagosi, hello. You want to know what is your destiny? Let's take a look here. All right. So let's take a look. Nope, no oracle. So we're going here, and actually they are going to have me switch up though to the tarot of dreams. So let's take a look. So what is your destiny? What would they like you to know around your destiny? Of course, you got the moon card. Let's take a look here. All right. Yeah. So you've got the moon card, which is all about the secret and the unknown, the hidden. And so, of course, they're like your destiny is like this search of diving deep into who you are and what you're wanting. And our destiny is very much this search for it's like part of the excitement of this life is that we come in here veiled of who we really are, and our higher self, and all the akashic records, and all this fate, and all this stuff that we predetermined before we come down here. And then they're like, we come down here and it's like, all right, where's the map that we made? And they're like, nope, you don't get it. And you're like, well, how do I know where I'm supposed to go? I go, and then they're like, enjoy the adventure. Poof, and they're gone. And we're like, no, but it's the journey that we're on. And that's what I feel like they're telling you with the moon card. But this is beautiful because you have the faith card, which is the Hierophant. And this is about discovering your truths, discovering what it is you really want, who you are, what is your soul purpose, what do you want to do, where do you want to head. And so they are saying it is possible to discover this. And they give you the king of wands, which is the highest energy, spiritual energy that you can connect with, which is your higher self. And so they are nudging you to move inward and upward, to connect more and more to your higher self. And then that is where you find it within your high heart, is where your passion is, what you where you'll discover how it is that you want to uniquely share this unconditional love in your heart with the world. And I do feel here, I mean, um, you've got the lovers card here and the four of coins. And I feel like they are saying that you really do find more and more. It's like these are ways in which it's being revealed to you, both in relationships and in how you relate your worth to the outside world. The shaking that happens with these things is when, we have fears that come up about relationships. We have fears that come up about our worth in relation to the outside world. And what helps us find our capital T truths is by constantly being inundated in the disappointment of the small t truths, of those fears that continually come up and come up and come up. Am I going to find someone that loves me? Just, I mean, really, it could be anything. We can take someone's day and go, here's the 50 things we feared today. And the more we experience those, the more that they're brought, the more we eventually turn inward and upward and go. And that's where we find, that which is beautiful and eternal. And we find the peace and the unconditional love and the joy. And then we find our heart and we're like, ah, and we're no longer inundated by all the supposed tos of the outside world, which allow us to see past the fears of, well, I need to have something that people respect me and I make enough money so I can afford this type of home and this type of vehicle and these types of clothes and this type of food and be able to put on these types of parties. And I mean, the list goes long, long, which constricts us and blinds us to our true mission, our true destiny. And so I feel like they're nudging you to look into these fears and look past them and look inward and upward. And then you will very much get clarity on what makes your true high heart sing and how you love to share it with the world. And I do feel like with the seven of coins here that you will make a change in what you're doing with your life, because you're going to see that you've been trying to live up to the dream that someone gave you when you were younger, society, parents, whatever it might be. And you're just like, it's not my dream, because I wake up every day going, oh God, I got to go live my dream today, instead of waking up like I did today, a couple hours before my alarm went off. And I'm like, I can't go back to sleep. I'm going to get up and do stuff and do wonderful things towards my dream. And so that's the way it'll end up being there for you. So start with that, and then they will definitely bring you more and more clarity as you discover more and more what makes your heart sing. But I love that moon card. They're just like, it's part of the adventure. And it's like, I need to know right now. And they're like, Well, this is where you can go. It's like a scavenger hunt where, you reach one place and they tell you the little riddle to get you to go to the next place where you find the next riddle to go to the next place. That's like the adventure that you're on, and it's beautiful. So when it's not a fear, if we're in this place of like, I've got to find my destiny because if I'm not living my destiny, I'm failing. Well, that's the fearful adventure. But when you go with this adventure of connecting to that beautiful love, it becomes exciting because there's no failure in it, because failure only happens in the conditional world of man. There's no right or wrong. There's the adventure from up above. So that's what they have for you, Shwani. So I'm excited to see where you go with that. So keep us in the loop if you want to. Never any pressure. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list for the free readings. And I did bypass the top of the hour announcement, which I try to at the top of the first hour and the second hour, to let you know that I'm usually on for like 2.5 hours is like my average and for balancing. And if you want to make sure that I do get to your reading in this session, donations do get priority. And what happens, you can do the super chat or PayPal or Venmo. I have those links. It's in the description box of the video. I also posted it at the beginning of this video. And then I just step out of line and I take care of all of the to just to honor that energy exchange. I step out and take care of those readings, and then I go back in order and I continue to go down, first come first serve for free readings. And I usually don't get to the bottom of the list because it gets very long very fast. So that is your public service message. Now back to the regular scheduled program. All right, so we are at Bhumika Ranjit Batra. I probably messed up at saying that, but my apologies. All right. So, Bhumika, you want to know, how can you connect to your husband's soul, and will you be able to meet him again? All right. Take a look here. So it sounds as if they are on the other side, like they've transitioned back. And will you be able to meet him again? Let's take a look here. Yeah. So you have the Six of Wands here, which is beautiful, beautiful fire energy. It's like recognition and victory. So I feel like they're, in one hand, they're saying that they are with you the moment that they we leave our bodies. We're right by our loved ones, and by every single one of them, all at the same time too. They don't even have to share and bounce around. They can be 100% with each individual. That's how powerful we are. It's how the creator is too, and we are many creators, and we have that ability. So they're saying, I'm with you, I recognize you, I see you. And then you also, this is about victory, that you are able to connect to their soul. And how, let's say, will you be able to meet him again? I feel like they're saying, you will, just wait. You don't have to rush to meet me again. I'm around you all the time, but you are here hanging around on earth on purpose, for a purpose. And you will connect again. You have the King of Cups, which is the ruler of emotions, the ruler of love. And they said, yeah, this Ace of Cups, which is the chalice, the Holy Grail, is full of the unconditional love of the higher realms. And so they're like, you will meet me again, but it's so different on the other side. When you go over there, you're going to realize how many lifetimes you've had with all these many different soulmates and loves, and we're all these drops in this huge sea of unconditional love, that it's different over there, that you have so much love for everyone. It's not it's a different type of experience than it is down here. But he's like, "But don't worry about all that. Enjoy life down here." And, while you're, connecting with them, if you wanna feel that connection and that love from them, they're just saying, just we have to just dial down the fear noise because there's a lot of fears that they're just making you aware of. This could be insomnia, nightmares, things always on your mind, like all the way up before you're going to sleep. You wake up in the middle of the night thinking about things, wake up in the morning immediately thinking about things, dreaming about them, like I said, even to the point of nightmares or having trouble sleeping. And they're just saying you have so many things that are on your mind, so many thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and expectations. And it's the fears of losing conditional love in the outside world that you can let this go. If you are able to dial down and release a lot of fears, a lot of fears, a lot of fears, then your world changes and you move from old ways of believing, old ways of thinking, old cycles to new ones. And it allows you, as you turn down the fear noise and you raise your unconditional love, that's the vibration of the other side. That's, one of the big things about developing our psychic connection or our ability to hear the whispers of love from the other side, whether it's from loved ones or ancestors or our guardian angels and angel or spirit guides or spirit creator. Connecting to that realm, they vibrate at a level of high unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter and gratitude. So for us to hear clearly, they always hear us. But for us to hear them, we turn down the fear noise because it's chaotic and noisy and loud. We turn down fear and we raise our vibration, focusing on those things, then we can hear them more and more clearly. You already feel them, I'm sure, around you already. Um, but you are can even feel them even more deeply and hear the thoughts. They will already tap on your brain. You won't be thinking about them, and and you have this memory pop out of nowhere. That's them going boop boop, letting you know that they're around you. They are always around you, but they'll do that on times where they know you need to know that they're around them. They'll do that. They'll bring messages all over the place in the outside world, but if we're in fear and in all that noise, we don't get to see them as clearly. They don't stand out as much like when we're quiet and peaceful and have that connection. So that's what they have for you, Bhumika. So many, many blessings. You are loved. You are loved, loved, loved. So that is what they have. All right. That's right. That's right, Sherwani. Yep, absolutely. It's all about the search. It's all about the adventure. So yeah, just step by step. Just go on to the next riddle, like turn inward and upward. It's like, okay, let me learn meditation of some sort of how do you want to connect with your higher self? That's what to look for. All right. So we'll continue moving down the free readings, and we are at double, triple, quadruple X, and you'd like a general reading. And okay, they're bouncing me back to these Ask Your Guides Oracle. So let's see what they have for you right now. What would they like you to know? All right. You got deprivation, but you have the prosperity guides with you. Yay. Big helping hands. And that is card number 34. So let's see what they have here. It says, whether because of a sudden change of circumstance or long held patterns of lack, you may find yourself feeling overly concerned about your finances and security right now. You might be worrying that there won't be enough to meet your needs, so you're trying to conserve every penny. Your fears may even cause you to unconsciously seek others to reassure you or guarantee your needs in some way. The trouble with allowing these fears to take over is that your insecurity will be felt by others and they will step back, fearful of being used for your security, creating a cycle of even more deprivation, right? So, this circle of fear and lack dries up the well of prosperity even further. Happily, though, your prosperity guides are here to help you reverse this vibration. They inform you that hoarding or withholding in any way goes against the divine flow of the universe, and it's the opposite of what's called for to create prosperity. The universal laws of prosperity state that we receive what we give. The universe does not lack. Lack only exists in our minds. The true source of poverty is an indication that we've disconnected from our divine source, which causes low self-esteem, right? We've all been there, are there, in and out, right? But this is the true source of lack in any area of life, whether it's money, comfort, security, or even love. To get back into the flow of things, your prosperity guides urge you to reconnect to the source by being generous in all ways. Any stingy tendencies, even with yourself, only keep you cut off from divine supply. Reclaim your self esteem by recognizing that you're a trust fund baby of the universe. I remember reading this a while ago. I love that. I am a trust fund baby of the universe. Your needs will be met easily if you open your heart to receiving the universe's gifts. Connect to this flow by sharing what you can: a smile, a compliment, your assistance, your time. Your prosperity guide's message to you: tap into the abundance of the universe by sharing your heart. Wow. I like it. Trust fund baby of the universe. That is your reading. So many, many blessings to double, triple, quadruple X. Enjoy the prosperity. All right. Hey, so many blessings to you. And Christy, hello, hello. Hello again. You are up. Let me see here. All right. So you'd like a general reading for today. And I feel like, I mean, they are bringing back these ask your guides. So your guides are definitely wanting to speak very, very clearly. And I like reading from oracle cards too, because they'll, when I'm doing the interpretation with the tarot cards, sometimes, um, I mean, they hit and they bring information, but when it's read from a book and it's just like, it just, sometimes just is what we need, right? Look, and you get gifts, your joy guides. Tis the season. And that's card number 6. So let's see here. This says the universe is constantly showering you with gifts. The problem arises when so many of these divine offerings go unnoticed and are therefore unaccepted. So your joy guides are on hand, acting as messengers to help correct this. They ask you to start counting your blessings day after day, taking care not to miss any or take them for granted. Your joy guides delight in showering you with gifts and encourage you to expand your heart's capacity to receive all they have to offer. Start each morning by asking them to surprise you with something wonderful during the day. Then, just before going to bed, list all the wonderful things they've bestowed upon you. I like it. See how the list grows longer and longer each day. Their only request is that you acknowledge these offerings and thank the Divine Mother and Father for their endless generosity. Your joy guides message to you: open your heart and expect good things to come. So I do like that. I like that. Start off the day going, all right, surprise me, and look for the surprises, be aware of the surprises, and then even write them down throughout the day. But definitely before you go to bed, make sure you write down everything that happened that you're grateful for that day. It's a really a wonderful way to look at a gratitude journal. And I like that for you, Christy. So that is what they have for you. So many, many blessings for you. All right. So we'll continue going down the list. And we are at Kritika. And you like a general love reading. Okay. So we are going to pull that from the Tarot of Dreams and see what they'd like you to know, Kritika. So what? Kritika and love. Whoa. Okay. All right. So it's interesting that this is a card unique to this deck, which is the Tree of Life. And we have our higher self, which is a being of unconditional love, and we go on this journey to get down into this human, which comes into the earthly plane. I think they have the earthly plane is like right here, or I think it's here, or maybe it is here. But regardless, this is you experiencing conditional love versus unconditional love. And I feel like they're telling you that this journey that you're here on is to experience the fears of losing conditional love while at the same time experiencing the unconditional love. What you are truly thirsting for is this Ace of Cups, which is the chalice, the Holy Grail. It's full of the unconditional love of the higher realms, that which is eternal, that which is unconditional, and that is what you find like at the very top of the up here. It's like that's the love that you're looking for is here. This is an imitation. It's the opposite of this. And so they're like showing that there is this choice, which you have the Two of Swords here. Every moment is a choice between unconditional love or the fears of losing conditional love. And every moment we get to choose what story we apply to our life. Is it of unconditional love or is it of the fears of losing conditional love? We also each moment get to choose what emotion we want to feel. Is it going to be an emotion of unconditional love or an emotion of the fear of losing conditional love? And so they're bringing this to you with this question of love because that is where the balance comes in on our life, when we're weighing the two and we understand this power that we have in each moment. It changes your whole approach to love. It changes your whole awareness of what you're truly hungering for. And once you become this chalice and you fill up with this unconditional love and it overflows out to the world, when we're the chalice and we're not being filled with the unconditional love from the outside world, because we're, here's the spout where all the beautiful unconditional love comes out, and usually we're here, but when we turn to look to the outside world, it's not filling us, and so we feel empty, and we're looking out here, and the love we're looking for out there is empty, it's disappointing, it falls short of what we're looking for. So we have so much disappointment in our lives when we're tilted off in that direction. But once we align ourselves once again, where we are being filled from the inside and overflowing, then what anyone else on the outside gives us is above and beyond. We don't look for it for our sustenance, it's extra. And I've mentioned this example probably every couple days because they bring it up quite a bit that, when we find the love from within us, that's our meal. When we're looking for our meal that's going to fulfill us, our love meal, we find it within, plus first and second dessert. And so we have this wholeness and this fullness. And then we, when people bring us third and fourth and fifth dessert on the outside, like I always like, I can always find room for dessert. Sure, bring it to me. But if they're like, no, I'm not going to give it to you, you're just like, oh, that's okay. I'm so full. You saved me from being overly stuffed. So that's fine. We're not impacted as we are before, where we're looking for them for our love meal. And then they say, no, I'm not going to feed you. You're going to starve. And then we're like, no. And that's where all the fear comes from. And we got to, try to keep it as much as we can. And it's like, but you're just having a meal of desserts, three, four, third, fourth, and fifth desserts out there. And it's not fulfilling us. We find that from within. And I feel like this is their message for you today, because it does bring you new opportunities in the outside world, but it does change your whole focus of your self-worth and your awareness of your self-worth in relation to the outside world. You end up finding that you are what makes you whole, nothing on the outside. And then the outside is extra. They gave me this, I call it the spice cake mantra, because and you can replace spice cake with whatever, and I'm not particularly, you know, uh, ambitious for spice cake. I really have no unfavorite sweet either. But the mantra that spirit gave me is that I am my own spice cake. And the frosting on top of the spice cake is the love of my family and my friends. And the cherry on top the frosting, on top the spice cake, is my accomplishments in life. And the whipped cream on top of the cherry, on top the frosting, on top the spice cake are my intimate relationships. If for some reason I don't have the whipped topping or the cherry, or all my family and true friends are, no longer on this physical plane, it's the only time they'd stop loving me. Without all of those things, even then I'd be one awesome frickin' spice cake. And so that puts things into perspective. We are whole ourselves. Everything else is extra. So that's what they have for you right now, Kritika. So I know it's like, well, what about love? Well, that's what they want you to focus on right now. So that takes care of everything, though, right? It does transform, it takes away the pressure of the desperation of finding our meal out there when we find the meal within us. So that's what they have. So many blessings for you, Kritika. That's what they have for you right now. All right. Kiki Kuin, nice to see you again. You are up next. You are welcome. Double, triple, quadruple X. All right. So Kiki Kuin, hello. You'd like a general reading for the week. Let's take a look here and see what they have coming forward. General for the week. All right. Anything else? Yep. All right. Well, it does appear here next week has a lot of activity that's igniting a lot of different emotions next week. So more than not that you are normally, just like more than normal. We all have emotions. It just feels like there's some triggers that are triggering emotions next week. um, which is all right because it's happening on purpose for a purpose. You've got the peace of mind card with the Four of Swords and the King of Swords. The King of Swords wields the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Swords, they sleep on the Ace of Swords. And what this tells me is that, these emotions that are rising and triggering are bringing up to you these expectations, these fears of losing conditional love and these fears of rejection and fears of outcomes in the outside world. They're being brought to you, but they're being brought to you so you could see things from your higher perspective, seeing things from a place of unconditional love, and you're able to like cut them away and slice them away. So it's like they're being brought up to you. Some emotional triggers are being brought up to you that have mental triggers that allow you to dismantle them and release them so that they don't come up in the future. So this week seems to be like every moment is a learning and experiencing moment, but I feel like next week is like a classroom. You're having a class on um, untriggering triggers. So just be aware that when an emotion starts to rise, go, okay, this is being brought to me for me so that I can get to the root of it so I can release it where it won't impact me again in the future. So I feel like it's a week of that. Like, okay, today's trigger is this. And then you um process it and work through it and go, okay, I know where this is coming from. And then here's Tuesday's trigger. Okay, so today's trigger is this. And I kind of feel like one a day, because it is 7 cups. So that's a week, one a day triggers for you, but it's for you. So just realize, and some will be more extreme than others, but just be aware that's what's unfolding. But you have the power. Just breathe as much as you can so you don't go into fear mode and act like a cat and attack or run, but that you're just aware of it as it arises and realize this is in you. It's not out there. It's a trigger inside you. You get to own it there for you. So that is what they have for you regarding your general reading for next week, Kikikuin. So many blessings to you. All right. So Anjali, you are the next free reading that's come up here. You're welcome, Christy. All right. And thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up you've given the video. It really does help out the channel and help spread that love. All right. So Anjali, you want to know, how can you heal faster from past events and how can you cut ties with Aries? All right, let's take a look here. How can we heal faster? Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. So I do see here, you do have the power to move in a different direction. So they want to start off letting you know that you are not powerless at all in this situation. And I feel like with the Knight of Wands, they're telling you that you have made progress. And so don't think that you haven't, but you are ready to head off in a different direction. And even the Aries card here, the Three of Wands, heading in a new direction away from Aries. So, and it's going to happen fast and fiercely here too. So, I really like that coming in there because it might it might feel here like that you haven't made progress because you're like some of this feels like familiar territory, right? But we move in spirals. We don't move like this way in life. We move um up a spiral staircase, a huge spiral staircase. And so like you're here with the past, pain and the events and experiences that you had with this Aries here, when you went here and you come back up here at a higher level, it's a slightly different view, but you still see it and you're like, oh, I haven't made any progress. And then you go up further and you're at another level and you're like, oh, am I not making any progress? And then so eventually, if you were able to move from here to, you would see how different it is. But because we move up like this, we don't realize we're making all this progress until um we reflect back like 5 years after five levels, and we're like, wow, look how far I've come. And that's what they want you to know. And definitely you have this movement that's coming. Part of it is this hierophant here, which is about you really getting into the understanding. The more you look inward into your high heart, connecting to the spirit world, your higher self, realizing who you really are, you recognize more and more the truth of who you are and what you want in life too. Part of this of how you can heal faster from past events and cut ties and move higher is becoming more aware, stepping outside of the human experience and see things from that viewpoint. Because the human will go into fear, and then we get sucked back into um, being able to see things differently. We relive old events, we relive them, we relive them. It's like watching the same movie over and over and over again, which is okay. It's what we all do. But and when we're ready to move on, when we're ready to do more, then we just face our fears. We really start looking, the nine of swords is our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets. It's the insomnia card, it's the nightmare card. And it's like, because of all these expectations, the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, our fears of rejection, our fears of what someone said, what it meant about us. You know, the Five of Pentacles is this feeling of dealing with our feelings of being left behind and abandoned and left out in the cold. But these are transformations. The nine here is about you turning inward and looking at your fears. What are your beliefs? Because those are the things that are bringing you pain. Someone else's actions are their actions, but the stories we put to them are what cause us disappointment and pain. It's like if I say, Anjali, I expect you to give me $1,000 every day for a year. And you be like, Bretta Zen, you are going to be living in disappointment every day for 365 days. Well, if that hurts my feelings, if I'm like the disappointment of not getting that $1,000 a day from you, is that your fault or is it mine for putting these expectations on? And and so I release you, realizing like this is about me, not about you. And then I'm like, where did I come up with this belief that they were supposed to give me $1,000 a day? And then I think back in my life and I'm like, oh, I see all the stories, all these expectations that were fed to me that I took on as my own belief. I use that extreme example because it allows us to go, whoa, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. But it allows us to go, oh, that's an unfounded expectation. But what of our expectations really are founded? We just have believed them for so long we think they're normal, but maybe they're not. And that's how we look into our thoughts and our beliefs and our mindsets around those things. And the Five of Pentacles, how we change from feeling like we're abandoned and we fear not having the sustenance come in from the outside world, is our connection to the source, to creator, mother and father of all things, whatever you believe or call the higher source. We realize they're the ones that bring us what we need in each moment, and that humans don't. Humans are just the delivery company. And when we expect them to bring something that we want and they don't, that's when we face disappointment. But knowing that we have what we need in each second from the creator, that it's eternal, it's unconditional love they have for us to bring us that stuff, then we don't have as much fear about not having enough in the moment, knowing that it's not in the hands of these unstable human characters, but it's in the hands of a higher source. So, those are some things that you can do to help heal faster when we realize that our pain is our own and not someone else's. It was their actions, but it was our story that we put around their actions that are making us have the pain and keeping us in this loop because we have this judgment. In fact, and this is for everyone, I feel like that's why they're going in to so much detail here, Anjali, is this is not just for you and for me. This is for several people who may be watching this. And it has to do with forgiveness. And I read this yesterday too, I believe, but it's so powerful. It says forgiveness is not only letting go of judgment, but also seeing through the illusion that we're separate from each other. because all our wounds stem from an illusion of separation from source and from all of creation, forgetting that all of us are these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings that are drops in a giant sea of unconditional love. We're not separate, but we come down here to experience separateness, and that's where the judgment happens and where all this, pain comes from. It says you don't need to forgive the action, just the person, so that you can be at peace. So separate their action from the person. Forgive the person, not the act. And that releases you and allows you to have peace. Look at the high price that you pay for being the vessel of anger or pain. It doesn't mean what happened is okay, just that we are no longer willing to carry around pain in response to their actions. Powerful, right? When we hold unforgiveness or fear in our hearts, we only punish ourselves after all. And angels, our guides, the higher realm, can help us release unforgiveness if we ask for their assistance. So we can ask for the assistance of the higher realm to with the unforgiveness as well. So they are more than willing to help guide us through that. So that's what they have for you right now, Anjali. Many, many blessings to you. Celebrate the success and the distance that you've made in moving in this, and that you are recognized by spirit for the progress that you've made, and just continue and ask for their help. And um, I just feel you will make cutting these ties will really definitely, you're going to feel the effects of it more and more here soon. I feel that. So that's what they have. So many, many blessings for you. All right. All right. And Kiki Cohen, I'm almost to the last half hour, and I want to try to get through as many free readings as I can. Since I gave you a reading already, that general reading, if we can, if you would like to attend another session and ask that second question, I'd greatly appreciate it. I just want to try to keep it, give everyone a chance to at least have one, as many people that can have one question answered. So please, please come back. I will be back this evening. In fact, since I'm almost at the top of the second hour, I'll just mention it now. I am going to be on just for about another 30 minutes or so. And I try to get through as many free readings as I can. But I do prioritize the donations, get priority, because I do honor that energy exchange from you. And so I step out of line, I complete those readings, and then I return back in the free runs and continue going down in order down the list, or the chat is the list. If I'm unable to get to you, I'm here every night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is going to be about almost around 6 hours from now. And then also on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, so you can catch me there. Also, I do a weekly giveaway for a free 30-minute personal reading, which I will be recording and releasing here shortly after I finish this session for this week's winner. But I have a giveaway playlist that's listed in the description box of this video, or if you go to my main screen, the giveaway playlist is one of the ones at the top. And there's a video at the very top of that list about the special weekly giveaway that I'm giving away every week until the end of the year. That reading to tell you how you can get into there. So you have that. And I also do personal readings. If you want to book a personal reading with me, and all that information's in the description box of the video as well. So all of that, I think that's everything. Oh, well, the playlists, I have a ton of free content. So if I'm unable to get down to you, and if you're unable to make a donation, I totally understand. So I have a ton of free content though. So if I don't get down to you, please go over to the playlist and follow your heart, and spirit will guide you to the reading or readings with messages for you. And so be sure to check those out. Those are all free as well. So I think that's everything. And again, thanks for all the thumbs up that you give me on the videos. It does help spread the Zen love to the world. So thank you for being part of that love tsunami. All right. So back to the free readings, and we'll continue to try to get as many of these as I can. And so, great quartz. We will move to you next. And you'd like some general advice. All right, let's take a look here and see what they have. All right. All right. Yeah, it looks like you're at a decision point here because you have both the Two of Swords, which is like standing in the fork in a road. And then you have the Chariot, which is the power of choice card coming in, being led by two horses, which shows your power of choice and like um and the Chariot is movement. So I feel like you're about to make movement on a decision, and you also it's a victorious decision. I feel here the Two of Swords also says close your eyes and open your heart. And so bring your heart into this decision too, not just by your mind, because you do have this Palace of Wands. Palaces are unique to this deck, which is building a safe place for whatever energy this is, which with the Wands is building a safe place to express your passion, to express your heart's desire, to share your energy with the world. And I kind of feel like you're at this point in your life of what do I want to do with my life? I kind of feel like it's almost like not like a midlife crisis, but you're just like everything I feel is coming to a head here with this year. Relationship, occupation, where you live, how you live, your friends, your family. It's just like almost like every area has had these earthquakes happening within them to where you're just like, "Oh, I'm investing so much of my energy into maintaining these things that I don't feel are supporting who I want to be and what I want to do with my life and what I want to experience." And you're ready for this major spring cleaning. And that's why I say it feels like a midlife crisis because it's just you just get or it's like a Saturn return. If you are into astrology, you might check and see when your Saturn return is because Saturn comes back into our life. It's like, was it every 28 years? So but it takes so long. It's like 25 to 28. Um, we kind of feel the impact of it because it returns back into the house where we were born, and because it Saturn challenges your thoughts and your beliefs that you have in life. The first time around is when we really start to question everything. It's like our mid 20s we really look at all the stuff that was told us about everything the should be's and supposed to be's. We're like, is that really what I want? We start to challenge and really look at it. Well, the second Saturn return is more looking at it maybe not be so whatever we didn't learn and release the first time around, we are faced with again on the second Saturn return, the old belief systems. But sometimes it's not us that goes through it again. We start observing it in the outside world. So it's like if you went through something in your 20s where uh, had to express the thing I'm thinking of is like a chart I had someone actually came out, as being gay around that period of time. And they released a lot of their pressures and stuff they had with religion and everything they grew up with. And then when they came back around again for that period of time, they were going to come out again, but they had people in their life that were facing coming out in different ways, whether it was, being gay or it was being, I don't want to be in the family business. They experience them in the outside world. So you might be having like this whirlwinds of things happening everywhere, but they're telling you just to really follow your passion, create this safe space within you in your life that you get to express who you want to be and what you want to do with your life with those. So I feel like that's what's going on here for you. So that's their advice on that little advice for today, Great Court. So many blessings for you, and enjoy this wonderful uh like freedom that's coming. So I really like it. All right. Jalen, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Sunday, fun day. So you had an update last night. Oh, oh, good. So you went and awesomely fun. Woohoo! I like it. So what does Spirit have in store for their DLNU Scooby snacks? I like that. All right. Let's see what they have here for you. All right. I like this. We're gonna have a little reveal here. So, I so this has to do with your feelings of, and this is for both of you, feelings of lack, maybe of feeling left out in the cold or abandoned, and that questions and fears around having enough in each moment, right? And I like this because the Ten of Swords here is a great card to get when you're looking at all of these expectations and beliefs and mindsets we have around scarcity and lack. And the Ten of Swords is you're ready to let go of them and release them because they've been exhausting, trying to control the outside world and what they're bringing you and all the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that they have around those. You're getting ready to release those because then, dun, da, 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 you have the 10 of cups, which is abundance and fullness and overflowingness in your life. And that's what happens. All this energy that we're investing, trying to make sure the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos and the have tos and the musts and all those expectations around what abundance is supposed to look like in the outside world and where it's supposed to come and how it is supposed to come to you. You're releasing all of that. And that's where this you start to fill up emotionally and overflow out to the world. And so, the 10 of cups is what comes after the 9 of cups, which is like a wish fulfillment card. And so it's about looking into the scarcity and understanding that each moment we have everything we need and it comes from up above, even though it might get delivered by humans. Sometimes not humans aren't even needed to deliver it to us. But there's this wonderful, wonderful um, awareness that's coming in with all this, and it's great. I don't feel like there's huge events that trigger all of this. I feel like it's something that's been on your mind for quite a while because it's why it's so exhausting. It's like you've been investing so much energy to making sure I have enough and have more than enough with these ideas of what enough is, and you're really allowing this pressure to come off because of it and enjoy the unfolding of things rather than the controlling of things. I like it. So that's what they have for you, Jalen. I love it. I love it. Glad you had an awesome time and fun night last night. And can't wait to see where you go next with all this. So many blessings to you. All right. And we will continue moving down the list here. So beautiful Princess Pinky. Let's see here. I like it. So which tarot card represents your personality traits? It's like when people go, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be? If I could be a tarot card, what tarot card represents me? So we're going to do that one first, Princess Pinky. So what's if you could be any tarot card? Okay. You would be the 8 of Swords, which this is it's a great card because if especially if you're an air sign, but the 8 of Swords, the swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your expectations, and it is a beautiful awareness. You can even see the Jupiter card. It's joyous, it's expansive, And it allows you to see what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets were keeping you blinded and bounded and constricted, like trapped in this bubble where you couldn't get out. We created a bubble in our lives to earlier in our life out of praise and punishment to protect ourselves from being punished more and also to uh, get more praise that we got. We created a lot of rules around things when we were younger because we were children. We were out of control. We needed to please those in power that would be able to give us things that we enjoyed getting and also make sure we didn't get into the punishment zone from them. And we created all this stuff, and then it's the releasing of those and the freedom that comes from it. So I feel like you're a freedom fighter is your energy. And right now, this is the tarot card, which represents your personality traits. Letting go more and more and more of the thoughts and the beliefs. Are you a meticulous individual that you love structure, and but you reach a point where you don't like people putting structure on you, and so you're releasing things because you want freedom. You've been in the cage long enough, and you're ready to set yourself free, whatever area that might be: relationships, education, job, body, possessions, where you live, how you live, what money amounts you have. Are you ready for freedom? And I feel like that's what they want you to do today. And I feel like maybe there's not one tarot card that always represents us, but the energy right now that represents your personality trait is that right now, which I feel it always changes. We're too big, too amazing to stay in one box. I feel like we can go in so many boxes. So that's what they have for you, beautiful Princess Pinky. So many blessings to you. All right. So continue moving down the list. Awesome. Love and blessings to you too, Jalen. Nicole, I don't that doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I've made it that far down. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. I probably well, maybe if I shut up and continue doing readings, I might, but you're pretty far down. I may not be able to get to you in this session, but we'll see here in a minute. So, Harsita Oha, you are up next, and you wanted a spirit guide message, and I actually do have an Ask Your Guides deck. So let's take a look here and see what your guides have. All right. So you have the truth. The truth is coming in here, and from your higher self. Love that. Here's you and your beautiful higher self behind you. Card number 21. And it says, your higher self is present, activating your powers of reason and intellect. It asks you to develop clarity and objectivity when looking at your life rather than interpreting events through the murky and distorted waters of emotion. Strive to see the reality of what happened in the past so you can acquire a more accurate understanding of what's going on. You may notice things that make you uncomfortable or challenge your ethics. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truth and address difficult situations at their core, rather than distance yourself or pretend you don't see the real problems because they make you uncomfortable. Like the child in the fairy tale of the emperor's new clothes, your higher self is motivating you to not only see life more deeply, but to also share your perceptions with those around you. This is the time, for example, to address your unbalanced budget and look for ways to cut corners. It's also the time to acknowledge your ever expanding waistline and seek out what's really eating at you. This is when you need to step away from your emotions and dispassionately study the problems at hand so that you can come to a solution without blame and projection. Ask yourself what the problem is, not who the problem is. Only then can you begin to find real solutions with productive outcomes. Your higher self is sharpening your perception and clarifying your view so that you can make important and necessary changes at this time. As Carl Jung once said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. And your higher self's message is look for the truth behind appearances. I like it. Seeing capital T truths, which will set you free from the small t truths of the fears of losing conditional love. I like it. All right. So that's what they have for you, Harsita. And Brenda, you are up next for the next free reading. And I'm only going to be on for about 20 more minutes. So if you feel I'm not going to be able to make it down to where you're at, I do honor donations to get priority and to move it up next in line. And so if you are able to do that, that would be the time to start doing that now as I wind down this session. And if you're not able to make a donation and you're way down the list, please check out my playlist. I have a ton of free content, and just follow your heart to those readings. So, all right, very good. Thank you, Aaron. I'm going to do Brenda real quick, and then thank you for your donation. I will jump down and we'll take care of your reading. Absolutely. So, Brenda, you wanted to ask your husband, is he around you and does he help in your decisions? I actually want to go to these Healing with the Angels oracles, is where he's drawing me. So let's take a look here. I know absolutely that he is always around you, because all of spirit, when we leave our bodies, we are always by all of our loved ones. And you got the signs. He's like, I give you signs, which I know you've mentioned some signs before of like, you're like this chair, his chair went flying across the room. It's like, yeah. So it says, pay careful attention to the messages that they give you now. You've asked for signs and they deliver it. Notice and trust the signs. So you've asked for heaven to help you, and now it's up to you to pay attention to the evidence of their help. This card signifies that your husband is trying to get your attention with signs. They might ask a butterfly or a bird to fly near you, or they might compel you to hear a song several times. They might put an object in your path so that you have to notice it. So drawing this card is also a sign from them, that so this card coming up is a sign from your husband saying, yeah, I'm giving you signs. So they're trying to get through to you. Please notice. So you can ask your husband to give you a sign whenever you have a question or a decision to make. I mean, literally, is he helping you in your decisions? He's telling you, ask him if you have a question or if you have a decision to make. Usually it's not a good idea to specify what type of sign you'd like, though. Leave that up to them. They're very good at making their presence known. So, yeah, it's very, very clear there, Brenda, that he's absolutely around you. He is giving you signs all over the place and helping you make decisions. And if you're not seeing them, then he's saying, pay attention. So that's what he has for you. Many blessings for you, Brenda. All right. So thank you so much for your donation, Aaron. And I do honor that. Thank you. And so you would like to know, should you continue investing in the relationship with Mech? Let's take a look here and see what Spirit has for you. So what is the result or advice on if you Ingest energy. Okay. Mhm. Clarify that for me. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. So you got the 6 of coins, which is about, you can see here, let me see if I can get it to be not so shiny. There is the balancing scales, the balancing out of giving and receiving, right? And I feel like with this, it's like that's like my codependency awareness card when it comes to relationships of look at the rate of exchange. Is it 100 to 1? You have to give 100 to get 1 back. And it's like, yeah, is this a good investment? I call it my cost benefit analysis when I was in relationships. It's like when I look at everything with what I'm getting out of the relationship between what I'm giving in the relationship, yeah, it's like shing. And I feel like that this is them saying no, because I feel like this is what's coming here. You got the magician, which is about where you invest your energy and your power. You hold the power in your hands. And you have the palace of swords here, which is developing a place within yourself that you can safely express your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets. And I kind of feel like you don't feel like you can, like it's almost not quite to the extent that you have to walk on eggshells, but you have to be careful with what you say, I feel. And that's not you. You need to be able to express the powerful strength of you. Like, I almost feel like if you have successful things happen, you have to downplay them. You have to like dim your light because um, it, they get butt hurt, like, well, I didn't get to do that. Why? I'm not that, wow, you're great and I'm nothing. And you're just like, oh, can you just be happy for me instead of making it about you? And I feel like that's where it usually reverts back to. And you deserve something more. And I feel like this is what they're guiding you to is like you have this energy that you can invest and instead of dimming your light, it allows you to shine and it allows this beautiful spark to hear. So I really feel like they're saying you deserve something that's an equal giving and receiving and that exchange rate is not so crazy um imbalanced and you've been patient. I mean, there are times, yeah, and I know, there's times where relationships do go out of balance temporarily because we give back. And yeah, absolutely. And but when it's always going that way, it's like, okay, I want it to be able to go this way sometimes too, but it never. It might go out of balance this way, and then you're glad when it goes back to like this for a little bit before it goes back that way. Yeah, and I kind of feel like we want earth magic for you. So let's take a look here at the earth magic oracle. So you've got the whale with breach. And let's see what message they come in here. So this powerful creature of the ocean takes a few great sweeps with his fins and propels himself briefly out of the waters where he spends the majority of his life. He's taking a break from the ordinary earth element in which he lives to exist even for a few moments in the realm of the blue skies and the sun, having broken through the skin of the ocean in a magnificent display of fullness and strength. All baleen whales breach, but none more spectacularly than the humpbacks, considered the acrobats of this family. They arch, stretch, and twist their bodies even as they approach the surface of the water, in which may be an ancient mating ritual, a form of communication, or even a way to remove parasites. Hmm. In this image, the humpback whale that has burst out of the ocean expresses an almost palpable feeling of release and joy. And often, when we manage to change our environment, to break through illusory blockages, we experience an intense feeling of relief and can let go of any previously held fears and assumptions of what would happen once we did overcome that barrier, whether it's material, emotional, or mental. Simply getting away from the trance of technology for a few hours and spending that time in nature is a breach from the trappings of civilization that can suffocate us and prevent us from connecting to the earth. So, the message that this card has for you, it's time to take a break. Not just a coffee break, but a respite from the usual environment you find yourself in. That trip you want to take, go for it. Tired of being indoors? Make it a point to get outside. You have become attached to your surroundings, that you have created within them an illusion of safety. Yet it is not these things that make you feel safe. Rather, the familiarity you have imbued in your surroundings have generated the false sense of security. Taking time away from the familiar is literally right about changing your external environment in a significant way, such as doing something unusual or perhaps something you've always wanted to experience. Another perspective is breaking through the barrier of beliefs that have constricted you in any way from being who you truly are. We're talking about dimming your light, right? This is your opportunity to do some intentional breaching of these thought patterns, which will open you to different worlds and perspectives. Yeah, it's time to. I cracked up because it's time to remove the parasites. It's time to breach the situation, break the surface. But that's that's what I have for you, Aaron. So yeah, I think I feel the message is clear. You get to decide whatever you wanna do, of course. That is just their opinion, their advice for your highest experience, but, that's what's wonderful about our power of choice and will in this life is, have I had enough pain? No, I want more. I know I did. So that's what they have for you, Aaron. Again, thank you so much for your donation. Many, many blessings for you. All right. So we'll go back in line here for the free. I don't think I have any other donations. Nope. So Cutie Pie Aditi, you want a reading for the rest of the remaining days and blessings coming to you. Let's take a look here. I know for these next couple weeks, I can't believe we're getting so close to the new year. All right. What do we have here? All right. Yeah. So, um, blessings here. I really feel like there's this passion that's igniting, and it's you that's igniting this passion. I really feel like, we have the 8 of swords here, which is our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that make us feel restricted and trapped. I feel like you bust through something, a block that you've been having, in your life about an indecision about moving forward in something, and that you're like, boom, we're doing it, and you're really stepping forward with this. You are the one that's taking your ace of wands and just focusing it into something that you want to do, and you're like, you know what, I've been putting off this decision long enough, and I'm moving forward on it. And it does bring you blessings. It brings you this wholeness and this completeness in your life. um, this does represent, abundance coming in, which can be, emotional, physical, financial, whatever it is, whatever abundance, you feel, is what you're searching for with this spark that is being ignited, it comes for you here. Because the Ace of Pentacles that they, like they wear it on their crown here, but they also have it here, is about looking at your wholeness and your completeness and your worth in a completely different way too. So I really like that for you, Cutie Pie DT. So whatever this thing is that you've been having, this block that you've been really whittling down in your mind, it's like you're getting to the place now of I'm ready to make a leap and do this. So I like it. All right. You are very welcome, Aaron. I'm glad that that resonated. All right. So, bold and beautiful girl, Anjushri, you are up next. A possible sign of the person and their personal trait, hobbies, when and how you'll meet. All right. Well, let's take a look here and see what they'd like you to know. Just a possible sign from the person and any of that that they would like to mention here. All right. So, going to give you one card for this. We're in the kind of the quick lightning round since I'm only going to be on for about 5 more minutes. So, it's someone who is they do very well as far as their finances because they have enough for themselves and they're very generous at giving to other people too. Um, I feel like they have overcome this. Codependency awareness where they felt they had to overgive and wouldn't allow people to give to them because of their childhood. They've really overcome that to where they give and they give and they give to people, but they also allow people to give back to them as well. So, I kind of feel like it's someone who does a lot of volunteer work in a way where they give of themselves, they give of their money. So I feel like they're successful, but they remember what it was when they weren't. And so they reach out and help people with that. So I feel like that's if you do volunteer work, that if you give in some way, then that may be where you meet them as well. So I like it. So that's what they have for you right now, bold and beautiful. All right, Megs. Oh, hey, Renee Lee. You will be up next then as you're typing your question down below. So we will make sure we get yours. So Megs, you'll be my last free reading for this session. So the current feelings of Pavan, and is he loyal to you? Okay, let's take a look here. Well, we do have the Lovers card. So I feel that they do have feelings for you. Loyalty, I like the Hermit card coming in, which is that they are to themselves. When they're not thinking about you, they are with themselves. So I feel like both of these cards coming in together answer your question very quickly and clearly. So I like that for you. They do. They have love for you, and they are loyal to you. I think the only person they cheat on you with is themselves. They like to be alone. So that's what they have, Meg. So many blessings for you. All right, Randy. Hey, I'm doing well. So you'd like to know Manny's current feelings for you regarding romance. Let's see here what they have. Thank you so much for your donation as well. All right. So what are Manny's current feelings, please? All right, and anything else? All right. I do like where this goes. This right here, I know is like, what is this about? So 7 of Cups is, like, a lot of, like, emotional confusion that they have. And but the Page of Swords is new thoughts, clearing out of thoughts, and new communication that you'll be getting from them too. But they're sorting out all these emotions, all this stuff. I feel like this is not just you though. There's like all this stuff going on in their life that's just sparking a lot of things, and they're really trying to get their head on straight is kind of what I feel with this here. And I do feel like they will make movement on that towards you here, because this is what I liked seeing is the Emperor card, which is fire, passion, the King of Wands, which also is a fiery passion, and the King of Cups, which is balancing of heart and mind. So there's a lot of masculine energy that they have here, which is them taking control over their life and making movement um, in their life. So all of that, all those emotions that are happening, they're they're tired of the all these dramatic tornadoes that are flying around in all these different areas of their life, bringing in all those different emotions, and they're just ready. The Emperor, especially, they rule over kings, so both of these kings are falling under the control of the stability of the Emperor. And he's like, "All right, enough. I am stepping up and stopping the drama that's going around," because they want to be able to take action on that. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I do feel that here, because with the 7 of Cups, like you're one of the emotion things that's happening there. There's just so much going on there that they just don't have the emotional energy to do anything, and have so many fires that they're putting out. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, because we got the Palace of Swords. They're trying to create a safe space for their mind. I feel like they feel like they're just mentally exhausted because of all the stuff that they're dealing with. It's almost like every area of their life has had this, stuff pop in there. Yeah, 6 of Wands. So there is this movement and this balancing of energy that's coming up. And specifically, what emotion do they feel for you? Yeah. So they got the 4 of Cups. So they've got these are the old love they have, and this is the new love that they're looking at with you here. So yeah, I do feel that. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely make another. I'll make sure anyone that makes a donation, I'll make sure that your questions get answered in this session. So so if you have another question, feel free to do so. In the meantime, Katarina, thank you for your donation, and we will take care of your question. So, what's going to happen with your career at the moment? Let's see what they have for you here. So, what's happening with your career? All right. All right. All right. Yeah, I do like this. I do see that. Choices. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, I do see here with your career, Katarina, that the Lover's card is an emotional choice, and the Four of Cups is also about looking up here to your heart, and the Seven of Coins is about a change of direction. And the combination of all these three, I really feel like you're coming to a pinpoint in your life of the fruit that you're getting in the type of career and the type of job that you're in just isn't satisfying you. It's not making your heart sing. That's why I feel like you're going to have this emotional choice that comes up of that I want to leave either the company or the position or the type of career, whatever it is. It's like you're ready to move into something that's more in alignment for what you want out of your life. And I say that too because also you have the Justice card coming in, which they have the Ace of Swords, balancing out of your mindsets and your thoughts and your beliefs. And the Knight of Swords also, they are in pursuit of this Ace of Swords. It's like you're wanting something more and you don't know quite what it is. And even, with the balancing, the energy of the balancers coming in here about what is it that I truly want. And you know, whenever our we have so many things that are told in our minds of who we're supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. And this makes sense of the kind of career and it's good money. It's going to bring me all these things. It's like all that opinion that we're given. We make decisions off of that, but our heart is like, I wanted to be able to have a say so. We're like, the heart's in the back seat. You just get to come along for the ride. But it's like, but I want to be happy too. And when we make decisions with our mind, eventually our heart throws a tantrum. It's like, I want to be heard and I want to feel joy. And so I kind of feel like there's this change that you're having in what you really want to do with your life, and that you're really figuring out that making decisions strictly out of the mind does not make a happy Katarina because it's like, I'm not feeling joy. I wake up and go, ugh, I gotta go work, instead of waking up going, oh, I can't wait to go to work today. And it doesn't feel like work because you're living a dream instead. And it does bring you like this change that it's like you enter a new doorway, you enter a new way of looking at things, and it does bring you wonderful, wonderful joy and abundance. So the fear of us living our dreams is that I won't have enough money and I'll be successful at it and, be able to survive. But this is saying, no, this change that you're having, this mindset that you're having, following your heart and allowing your heart to be part of it, does help. And it does bring you into this new joyful time of your life and this abundant feeling in your life as well. So I like that for you, Katerina. That's what they have for you. So thank you again so much for your donation and many blessings to you. All right, Rainey, thank you so much for your second donation and your second question. And then Tanisha, you will be up after that. You are very welcome. So, do we see you getting the job you want at EL? Let's take a look here. All right, so Renee, will you be getting a job at EL? Okay. Anything else? Okay, let me see what these other ones are here. All right. It all signs are pointing to a positive answer because you have the Ace of Cups, which is new emotion and it which is a joyful card, emotion that is of good things, and the Palace of Swords, creating a safe space for your communication and for your thoughts and your expressing yourself, and I like that. Um, I feel like like you're moving from this feeling of being caged before. And I like that the Palace of Swords comes in here because the Devil card, our shadow, all of the bars on our little cage with an open door, by the way, all of this is our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our expectations, things that make us feel limited and trapped. But the Palace of Swords is the direct opposite. You have the Ace of Swords here, that with higher thinking, seeing things from a higher perspective, it allows you to cut away thoughts and beliefs in that, which sets you free. So I kind of feel like maybe jobs in the past with your beliefs about yourself that have limited you. just the supposed tos and the shoulds of the kind of job you're supposed to be in, the kind of career you're supposed to be in, that this is helping you get past that, which brings you to, again, Page of Cups, new love, because we had just something that you enjoy, something that your heart gets excited about, is nurturing for you, but also is a new birth, harvest, abundance coming in too. So I really feel with all this that, yeah, you do. And it is something that you enjoy. And it's something that it almost takes you into out of your comfort zone, takes you out of your cage. You know, sometimes when we're in cages, like if they have animals that grow up in cages, they are very scared to go outside of the cage. And I feel like this is a time that they're going to stretch you and your abilities, almost like they will have more confidence in your abilities than you do at times, because they're like, no, we want you to do this. And they're like, I don't think I'll be able to do that well, though. Are you sure? And they're like, absolutely, we'll help you, but you have all the skills. We're going to have you do this. And you're like, are you sure? And they're like, come on, we're going to have you do this. And then you just knock it out of the ballpark and you're just like, what? And then you are, even more so. They're like, we created a monster. Now she's not scared of doing anything. So I really do like that. Yeah, very much. High fives. So I like that for you, Rainy. So exciting times to come. Definitely developing and you're allowing you to express your abilities. I like that. Yeah, and that Palace of Swords too is because it's also about learning. So a safe place to learn and to grow as well. Yes, please do. I love to get the updates. So excellent, excellent. All right, and again, thank you so much for your donations. Greatly appreciate it. I do honor that. All right. So Tanisha, thank you for your donation. And you want to know what is going to happen with you and Matt? Let's take a look and see what Spirit would like you to know. All right. Okay, anything else? All right. Oops. Okay. But my space bar, I'm like, oh, hopefully I didn't disconnect. I was like, no. Okay. So you got a couple little sets here. Let me just get these set up here. Well, you got the moon card here. I, okay, they're like, we're going to start off with this one. So these are the last ones, but they want me to start off with them because you do have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about fated events and things will unfold. Things are going to turn end and new beginnings with you that are for you. You're going to feel that they're fortunate for you because everything that happens in our life does happen for us. But the Wheel of Fortune tells us that our ego, our human, feels that what happens is fortunate for us, which is great, right? And you had the moon, which the moon is about cycles and unknown and hidden things and things being brought to light, things come to surface, but it is about cycles. It's the unknown and the hidden. So there's a little bit of mystery still around it as well. But you have the Seven of Wands, which is a positive card because it really shows you being in the limelight, that you are brought into this higher ground where some people don't like it so much. It means they're feeling low about themselves and they're like, why do you get to be happy when I'm miserable? Come back down here and be miserable with us. It's almost like, how single friends are. When we get into relationships, sometimes we get a little too gushy around our single friends and they're like, keep your happiness to yourself. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on a little bit here because you really step into your power here. This is you, the Queen of Wands. you've got this brightness, this confidence, this connection to spirit as well, which the moon card also is about you being able to connect to the subconscious, the unconscious, the higher realms. But you really are stepping forward quite a bit here. I like this. I don't see like a lot of cups with like emotion, like a big flooding through of emotion here. I'm going to pull a couple more cards here in a sec because there's a lot of fire coming in here. So there is definitely a lot of passion. Just saying. Because you've got the magician card that's coming in here, which is all about fire and where you're focusing your energy, it expands, as well as the ace of wands. So both of these are about fire and passion, and what you're focusing your energy on just expands like crazy. But the Queen of Swords, she, even though she's all about the mind and the thoughts and the beliefs and the brain, all the queens are given water as well. So, you've got 2 queens, both have water, which is emotion. She's fiery passion. She's balancing heart and emotion. So, there is this a lot of this energy, a lot of this passion happening. Um, and you got your higher self involved here too, which is kind of like this, along with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like this message from your higher self, because the Jupiter is about the expansion and things unfolding. That they're like, everything that's unfolding, your higher self has wanted to happen. There's this fated event, this fate that has brought you guys together. It's not by accident. There is purpose behind it. There's a lot of passion behind this as well. So I feel like there's this draw between the both of you. And let me see where this goes here. So, okay. It's like, is this romantic? And what is happening here? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. Wow. Cards are flying here. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of mind stuff too. So that Queen of Swords is making sense because there's just a lot of you got the Devil card, like I was just talking about. This is the cage of which the relationship is trapped in. And you got all the Seven of Swords is becoming aware of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that are stealing things from you, like romance, like opportunities. But the Eight of Swords comes right after it, which is understanding what of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets are keeping you feeling trapped and restricted. Because this is the expectations card. And the Devil card is all about being forced to face those and bringing them all up to your face for you to see. So I feel like they're not going to tell me what is going to happen because it's the process here. This passion that's drawing you guys in together, the fated events of your higher self, and then all these swords cards are all about expectations and reflection on it. And so, as these fears, because that's what all those swords are, those small swords are small t truths, they're fears of losing conditional love. And it's like, what does it mean if they don't do this? What does it mean if they do that? What does it mean if I don't do this and or I do that? And what does it mean if this relationship doesn't take this or that? I mean, there's a lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets about relationships that is caging. That's what the card is here. And like we were talking about, all of this is you inside of a cage, and all the bars around the cage are all those thoughts and those beliefs. So there's this restriction, there's these fears that are there, and it's your higher self and spirit saying, yeah, and this is on purpose. The Devil card appears when it's like, it's Saturn energy. It's like, here, you cannot not look at all this stuff because this is the time. We're rattling your cage so you can be freed. And it's like, but I don't want to feel all those things. I want the passion. I want the love. I want all this. And they're like, well, when you're in that cage, it's not going to be what you think it is. And so they're trying to free you from the cage. So, yeah, exactly. Perfectly said. Yeah, the process. So, uh, but on the bottom of the deck, which is the what's unseen, which is this is where it allows you to go to, is the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment and partnership. So they're kind of saying after all that, it's worth it because Saturn energy, they make you do the work, but they give you the reward too. So let that be like your what do they call it? Um, a vision board. Let this be your vision board. It's like it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Going through the process because this is what I'll get. Okay. All right. All right. It's worth it. So thanks for your sense of humor and understanding, Tanisha. But yeah, so I like it for you, whether it's Matt or not, he's definitely part of the process and fated to help you through the process. And maybe they're a stepping stone, maybe they're not. I'm not sure if you've checked out my messages from Soulmate. Yeah, message from Soulmate, Soul Partner, and Twin Flame. So if you haven't, check out this, pick a card. And because I do talk about what the difference between all three are. And there might be some additional guidance in those too. But I love it. So thank you again for your donation and for your question. I love where you're going to go through this. It's going to be so freeing. You're going to break out of your cage. So that is what they have for you. So again, thank you so much. And for everyone that I was not able to get down to with all the free readings, I will be back here in about a little over, just barely over 5 hours. So I will be back for my evening session. So please come back. The earlier you get on there, then the more likely I can get through a lot of readings. You're very welcome, Tanisha. And but if you need answers right now, please head over to my main page just by clicking on the Bretta Zen Mystic Tarot. It'll take you over. And I have a ton of free content playlists that you can go and just follow your heart, and Spirit will guide you to those the readings that have messages for you. Like I said, I will be back tonight, and I'm on every night at 7 p.m. Mountain, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. I do offer personal readings too, a slight fee, but it's on a sliding price scale. You can check that out in the description box of the video down below. I do give out one free 30-minute personal recorded reading a week for at least until the end of the year. So check out my giveaway playlist. You can find out how you can sign up for that. So I think that is everything. So again, thank you guys so much for all your love, all your support, all the thumbs up. It definitely helps out the channel and spreading the love to the world. So thank you for being part of that love tsunami. And as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, hang in there, take care of yourself, have a great night or a great day wherever you're at in the world, and we'll see you soon. You take care.